Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first session for the day at LitFestx. We have with us the very successful and very charming Preeti Shenoy. She doesn't need an introduction, but she is among the highest selling authors in India and India's highest selling women writer. India Today has named her as being unique for being the only woman in the best selling league. She has written for various publications such as Times of India and Reader's Digest. She has given several talks at many educational institutes as well. Preeti is an avid blogger and very active on social media and has a very popular blog. Today, we are also going to be witnessing a special treat for her fans. Am I correct, Preeti? On
That's
her
right.
soon to be out book, Why We Love the Way We Do. Before we talk a little bit in detail about the book, Preeti, welcome to the session. Welcome to LitFestx. Since you're somebody who's already very active on social media and a successful blogger, some words from you on LitFestx would be great.
It's a fantastic initiative. I was really excited when I heard about it. And I was like, wow, why didn't someone do this before? And I have been watching some of the other sessions, and I must say you guys have done a splendid job.
Thank
It's all
you.
come together very nicely.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So Preeti, coming to the topic of the session today, before we speak specifically about your book, closer from dates to mates.
Yeah.
You've been obviously writing a lot about relationships, romance, etc. And tell us a little bit about how you got hooked onto this genre of writing and what has been your experience in this area.
See, I have written ever since I can remember, and now when someone says that I write romance, I quickly correct them. I tell them, look, it's not romance. It's really not romance because if you see all my books, they all have different themes. Life is What You Make It was about a girl with bipolar disorder. Secret Wish List explored the concept of whether making a wish list and just writing down your wishes, can you make it come true by doing that? And then the one you cannot have is about unrequited love. No matter whether you're married, divorced, single, committed, there'll always be that one person you cannot have. And it happens for a reason. It's about a girl who got an unwed mother. So, my different books explore different things and they're really a slice of life. Now, it's incidental that my characters fall in love in the course of books, but that's not the main theme of the books. So the moment someone says romance, I quickly tell them, hold on, it's not really romance. It's something more. Now,
Sure.
when it comes to writing, Kumar, I've always written. Ever since I remember, I have written. I think my first book was when I was 8 years old. It was about 8 pages long, and 4 of those pages were illustrations. So, and from then on, I started writing professionally only in 2006. I started a blog in 2006, and I started it to get over the grief of losing my father. And every day I would post this little snippets. I would post something positive, and that blog started getting a lot of response. And a lot of people wanted to see who's the person who's writing this stuff. And at that time, I was anonymous. I was blogging anonymously. I used to just post it as PS. From then on, it gradually grew, and I got a lot of recognition. The natural result of all of that was into a book. I wrote for Chicken Soup for the Soul. Some of my poetry got published. And by then, I figured out that the internet is not such a dark place as it is made out to be. And I became a little braver, and then I put out my name, and then it has just grown from there. From then on, from 2008, every year I've had a book. So it's been a long journey.
And a successful one at that, as we all see.
And
Tell-
hours and hours and hours of hard work.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And
Everyone says, yeah, tell me.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying everyone says, oh wow, you've had a book out every year. Oh, that's great. That's cool. And someone told me, oh, for you what? You press a button, ting, and a book will come out. I want to clear that misconception. There is no thing and a book will come out. It's not that. It's hours and hours when others are probably out watching movies and partying and sitting cooped up and writing. That's how the book comes out. Book
I'm,
doesn't come out soon.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is a lot of hard work and a lot of creative imagination going by the kind of stories that you have woven together. And talking about relationships today, or our topic for discussion today, from dates to mates.
Yes.
In an era where we have dating apps which are growing, mobile apps are growing in India. You've obviously got online matrimonial sites on since decades now.
Yes.
What do you see, when you interact with readers, your people, etc.? What is the amalgamation of technology in relationships, in finding dates, or finding mates?
So in fact, it has completely changed the game. It has completely changed the game, and I cover this in my new book, Why We Love the Way We Do. Before we go into that, I'll give you just a brief overview about the book.
Sure.
It has 7 sections. The first one is finding the one, which is on love and dating. Then there's getting hitched, which is about marriage. When things go wrong, it's about breakups. And then there's men and women, which essentially is about the gender differences. Men and women are wired differently. It talks about that without going into the Mars Venus thing. Let's Talk is about how differently men and women communicate. Three to Tango is on infidelity, and Between the Sheets is about sex. So it just about covers everything in the relationship. Now, coming to your specific question, when you're asking about dating, I would say technology has completely changed it. In fact, one chapter in the book is how Tinder changed Valentine's. So, when we were growing up, when we were in college, we had these things where these guys had to pass little notes and then they would wait with red roses and all of that. Now no one waits with red roses. They send it to you on WhatsApp or Snapchat, there's a rose which is coming. It's all very instant and it's all very quick. And to some extent, I would say that while the process of wooing, that essentially remains the same. The guy still chases the girl and the girl plays hard to get and all of that. But I would say the way we go about it has changed because it's all instant now. And even when it comes to breakups, earlier at least you would have a chance. If a guy dumped you, you would at least have a chance to meet him at a restaurant and pour that drink over his head and say, I hate you and all that. Now you'd probably get it on a Facebook status. Relationship status is single. That's when you know you've broken up. I mean, things have changed dramatically. I mention all of this in the book. They're essentially short essays. So I've talked about all.
And when you've divided the book into 7 sections, is it really mirroring the sort of evolution of a standard relationship, or what was your thinking?
Basically, I get mails from a lot of readers. They read my books. They're able to connect with the characters. And then, they tell me that they're going through this. What do you think we should do? Incidentally, I also write a column in the Financial Chronicle. It's called Sex and the City. It's out every Saturday. So the book is essentially, so I used to do a lot of research to write these columns. And then I would get mails from the readers. So I have used real life stories, of course, with permission, and names and details and all of that has been changed. So it doesn't follow a single person's relationship from to the 7 stages. That's not how it is. But there are real life stories of real people. So it's very relatable. So if you take each section, you would find the story of, say, Amit and Ananya, or, another couple and how they dealt with it. And it's written from a scientific and a psychological perspective. Because studies have been done and studies have shown this. So it doesn't give you, it's not a how-to book. But it talks about understanding our relationships, because any relationship, the key is to understand.
Right. And tell me a little bit about, like you mentioned, you have a lot of people who write to you, on your blogs and bases your columns, and, after reading your book. What are some of the common trends you've been noticing, related to, dating or relationships, in terms of your interaction which you've had with readers? I mean, are people coming to you with a certain type of pains, or certain type of issues? Tell us a little bit more about what you've been seeing.
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit, Kumar. So you are asking me about the common trends in relationships, is it?
Yes, depending on what people have been writing to you or interacting with you.
See, mostly I get questions about breakups. Someone has, and then I get questions about breakups. Get questions about, we were very close, but then what happened is we moved apart to different towns, maybe we lost touch. And now that this person has moved on, that person has moved on. But then because technology, see, today technology has ensured that you can't really break away. We are so interconnected. No matter what you do, earlier it was very easy to move on because we never had our Facebook and our Twitter and our Snapchat, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. So closure was very much, closure was very much possible earlier. Today it's that much more harder because you are constantly checking out. You have some common friends, you're checking out what that person is doing. So people write to me saying that it's so hard to move on. How do we move on? So there is a section in the book in breakups which tells you how to move on after a relationship. There's another section which tells you why it hurts. It hurts so much that it kills you. And I can feel that pain when people write to me. I can totally understand and empathize with their pain. So I have covered that in the book. These are the two, broadly, if I were to pick out two topics which stand out from the mails I get, mostly these two topics.
Wow, wow. So there's a lot of angst in people who are in relationships. From what you're saying, there's a lot of pain there, and
Absolutely.
clearly people are looking for ways to deal with it better
Yes,
and understand more about it.
true, true.
Do you also then end up becoming in many ways a relationship agony aunt to people, whether you like it or not?
I do get that agony aunt kind of questions, and mostly they are from young people, say 24, sometimes they're 22, 18. So, I kind of feel obliged to write back to them and tell them. So, which is why now I have written the book. Now, if they ask me, I'll tell them, go buy the book. Your answers are there.
Right, right.
But
I think
otherwise,
that's
I do answer. I do reply to them. I do reply to them. In fact, on my Facebook page, you can see people. They've shared their stories. They've asked. I would have always given them some comment or some link,
right.
something to
Right.
help them, because they feel I can understand them because they empathize with my characters of my fiction books. Because they read the story and they say, "Oh my God, exactly what happened to Aman happened to me. I feel you have gone into my head and written my story." Those are the kinds of mails I get.
Right, right. So I think it's time now to take a question or two from the audience on Twitter.
Sure.
We've been getting a steady stream of questions, so I'm going to read it out to you. This is the first one from Neha, and she says, "Which authors, books, songs, or movies have had a big influence on you as a person?" So clearly, Preeti, this is one of your fans who wants to know, which authors or books or songs or movies have influenced you.
See, I don't know if anyone has influenced me, because if I were to list my influences, I would have had to go back to my childhood and start right from Enid Blyton to Amar Chitrakatas, to every experience that I've had. But if you ask me my favorite authors, I would say it's any day Audrey Niffenegger, Neil Gaiman, Roald Dahl, what he writes for adults, not the stuff he writes for kids. Though I
Oh,
like kids stuff too.
okay.
I don't know
Uh,
if they've had an influence. I think every person we meet would have some influence. I don't think it's just books. It would be wrong to say that this book has influenced me and I write in that style, because my writing style is distinctly my own.
right. Now, again, there's a question on something that we were discussing, but it's been coming again and again. It says, "Do you believe in dating apps? And do you
Yes,
see the next great love stories to come from dating apps?"
I totally believe in dating apps because if something is speeding up the process, why not? And you know what? Dating apps makes rejections very easy. Guys, earlier you had to. No, it's true, because guys earlier you had to go to a bar, you had to catch her eye, you had to see, and then she may not catch your eye. On dating app, it's very easy. Yeah, swipe right, swipe left. You don't have to bother that much about are you hurting the person? Are there feelings involved? I mean, it's both a good thing and a bad thing. And you can meet up the person, and then you can see whether to take it forward or not. And if you're on a certain kind of a dating app, then you both know what you are in for. So there are, it's all very clear. There are no hard feelings from both ends. I totally believe in dating apps. Now, meeting the person is great, but are you going to continue? Once you met, relationship is a lot of hard work. So what you're going to do in your relationship, there are no apps for that. That's
Right.
always face.
Right. So you're a big fan of convenience when it comes to dating, is what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't say convenience, maybe speed,
Right.
easy, and it's making it easier, right?
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
who wouldn't like to have choices, Kumar?
Well, I think this time I should give my disclaimer. That I'm a happily married man, so no choices for me. But
You know,
this is also a good
either,
time
either be happy or you can be married. This happily married is an oxymoron.
but an oxymoron
Secretly,
which
I'm
gets
happy married
used
too.
an oxymoron which gets used every day.
True, true, true.
So I think it's time for now to give your fans what they've been waiting for.
Yes,
You can tweet about the sneak preview that you're giving people.
yes. So all of you who've been waiting for this, here it is, the first three chapters of Why We Love the Way We Do. It's going up live just now. I'm just tweeting that. The first three chapters as promised. Here you go. It's
Great,
live now.
fantastic.
And you'll
Uh,
find a signed photograph too for those who've been waiting.
Fantastic. And Preeti, the book is going to hit the stores soon, I believe.
Yes, yes.
So I'm
The
sure.
pre-order is already up. The book will be out in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm
And
eagerly waiting for it.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of excitement, basis the material you've disclosed, just right now. This clearly, serves our purpose. Honestly, when we started LitFestx, one of the avenues we wanted to provide authors such as yourselves is an opportunity to use the online and social medium better to be able to interact with your existing readers, existing fans, and also help find newer readers and fans. And I'm happy that you were able to sort of utilize the platform in this manner. If you have a message for your readers, we've just got about a few minutes left in the session. Anything that you would want to tell the readers about your book, please go ahead.
When somebody asks me, do you have any message for the reader? I always say just one message, buy my books.
in,
No, but
in,
jokes apart, I would say like whatever you think possible is really possible. Just go live your life. Take each day as it comes, and keep smiling and be positive. That's going to work wonders towards your achieving whatever you want to achieve. That would be my message.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I think it is so true. A lot of people in India and worldwide, they are actually aspiring, striving, in amongst sort of a lot of challenging times. And this is a very apt message. Uh, we are seeing some more questions coming in, but I think we are running out of time.
Okay.
So on this note, I'm going to also we'll go out and retweet your material that you've just launched right now,
Sure.
and happy to promote it further. And thank you so much, Preeti, for joining us for LitFestx. And we wish your upcoming book all the success, and may it be another bestseller and another feather in your cap. And like somebody told you that it's ting is the way you get a book out. Maybe LitFestx is the way you also then promote books and make them bestsellers.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Kumar. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.